Malik Thompson stood at the edge of a conference room in a downtown Atlanta hotel. His navy blazer, slightly worn at the cuffs but pressed crisp, at 27. He carried himself with quiet confidence, a trait forged through years of navigating spaces where he was often underestimated. His mother, Denise, had cleaned offices in this very building for 2 decades, her late-night shifts funding Malik's education and his relentless pursuit of knowledge. Tonight, he was here as a translator for a regional business summit, a gig he'd landed through a linguistics professor who'd spotted his talent at Morehouse College. The summit drew a diverse crowd. Entrepreneurs, diplomats, and investors from across the globe, all mingling over coffee and PowerPoint slides. Malik's role was to facilitate discussions for a panel on international trade, translating between English, Spanish, and French for a group of mid-level executives. His badge read Malik Thompson, Polyglot Interpreter, a title that raised eyebrows among the attendees, most of whom assumed he was just another junior staffer. In the room, Omar al-Bayadi, a Qatari real estate tycoon worth $300 million, held court. At 50, he was known for his sharp wit, sharper business acumen, and a tendency to size people up in seconds. His tailored suit and gold cufflinks screamed wealth, and his entourage, a mix of aides and fellow investors, hung on his every word. Omar had built his empire brokering deals across the Middle East, Europe, and Asia, priding himself on his own fluency in Arabic, English, and French. When he spotted Malik adjusting a headset near the panel table, he leaned over to his aide, chuckling. "That kid's badge says polyglot. Probably knows a few phrases and thinks he's a scholar." Malik overheard but kept his focus, testing the audio equipment. The panel began, and he translated seamlessly, his voice steady as he rendered Spanish-Io's remarks into French, then English, without missing a beat. A French diplomat nodded approvingly, jotting notes. But Omar, seated in the front row, wasn't impressed. During a break, he approached Malik, his tone playful but edged with condescension. "Polyglot, huh? How many languages do you really speak, kid?" "2, 3, if we're generous." Malik met his gaze, calm but direct. "9, sir." Fluently. He listed them: English, Spanish, French, Arabic, Mandarin, Portuguese, Swahili, Russian, and German. Omar laughed, loud enough to draw eyes. 9? Come on, son. I've met UN interpreters with less. You're, what, a college kid? No way you got that range. Where'd you learn all that? YouTube? The room tittered, a few attendees smirking. Malik's jaw tightened, but he kept his voice even. "My mother worked nights cleaning offices to pay for my books and tutors. I studied at Morehouse, self-taught some, and practiced with native speakers. Test me if you'd like." Omar's grin widened, sensing sport. "All right, let's have some fun. I'll say a phrase in Arabic. You translate it to Russian, then Mandarin. Impress me." He rattled off a complex sentence in Arabic. The desert blooms where ambition meets opportunity, but only the wise see the oasis. Malik paused for a split second, then delivered the translation in Russian. His pronunciation crisp, the grammar flawless. He followed with Mandarin, equally precise. The room went quiet. Omar's aide scribbling notes, looking stunned. Omar raised an eyebrow but pressed on. "Not bad. Try Portuguese." Same phrase. Malik complied, his Portuguese fluid, the cadence natural. A Brazilian executive nearby nodded, murmuring, "Perfecto." Omar, undeterred, switched to French, throwing in a colloquial idiom about chasing dreams in a storm. Malik translated into Swahili, then German, without hesitation. The crowd grew, attendees whispering. A German consultant confirmed the accuracy, muttering, "He's spot on." Omar's smile faltered, but he wasn't done. "All right, kid, let's go off script. Tell me about your background." In all 9, 1 paragraph each, no prep. Start with Arabic. Malik took a breath, then began. In Arabic, he described his childhood in a small Atlanta apartment, his mother's sacrifices, and his nights studying by lamplight. He switched to Spanish, detailing how he learned from migrant workers at a community center. In French, he spoke of his college years, auditing courses to perfect his accent. Mandarin followed, recounting his exchange program in Beijing, bartering translations for street food. Portuguese came next, inspired by Brazilian music and pen pals. Swahili, learned from Kenyan refugees in his neighborhood. Russian, from Cold War history books and online forums. German, from a summer job tutoring exchange students. Finally, English, tying it all together with his dream to bridge cultures. The room was silent, save for the hum of the AC. Omar's entourage stared, open-mouthed. A Spanish diplomat clapped softly, breaking the spell. "Incredible," she said. "I've worked with interpreters twice his age who couldn't do that." Omar crossed his arms, studying Malik. "Your mother's a cleaner, you said? And you learned all this. How? No offense, but that's not a typical path." Malik's eyes didn't waver. "My mother, Denise, worked 3 jobs to keep me in school. She'd come home at 2 a.m., hands raw from bleach, and quiz me on vocab. I learned Spanish from her co-workers, Arabic from a mosque library, Mandarin from a professor who believed in me. I worked retail, tutored, and studied nights. Every language was a door to a better life. For her, for me." Omar nodded slowly, his skepticism cracking. "Impressive, but let's see you in action. I've got a deal closing tomorrow, multinational, messy. You in?" Malik hesitated. "I'm booked for the summit, sir, but I can consult after hours." Omar smirked, but it was warmer now. "Fair. Name your rate." "Standard interpreter fee, plus travel if it's out of state," Malik said. "I don't overcharge." The next day, Malik joined Omar's team for a high-stakes negotiation at a Buckhead high-rise. The deal involved Qatari investors, Chinese manufacturers, and Brazilian suppliers, with contracts in 5 languages. Malik translated in real time, navigating technical jargon and cultural nuances. When a Chinese executive used a proverb to dodge a clause, Malik caught it. Clarify in Portuguese for the Brazilians. The deal closed with a $50 million handshake, and Omar's team credited Malik's precision. Afterward, Omar pulled him aside. "You're the real deal, Malik. I misjudged you. My apologies." He handed him a card. "I'm starting a consultancy, global markets, big clients. Need a linguist like you. Full-time, 6 figures, benefits." Malik took the card, weighing it. "Appreciate it, sir. I'll need to talk to my mom first. She's my compass." Omar chuckled. "Smart man. Tell her she raised a genius." That night, Malik sat with Denise in their modest kitchen, the card on the table. She was 52, her hands still callous, her pride brighter than ever. "9 languages, baby," she said, eyes wet. "I cleaned floors so you could talk to the world." He hugged her. "You built the world, Ma." The story spread fast. A summit attendee posted on X, "Kid of a cleaner school's millionaire in 9 languages, must see." It hit 15,000 reposts, catching NPR's attention. They ran a feature, from janitor's son to polyglot prodigy. Malik's inbox flooded, offers from NGOs, universities, even a UN recruiter. He took Omar's offer part-time, balancing it with community work, teaching free language classes at the center where he'd learned Spanish. Kids flocked, inspired. One, a 14-year-old named Jada, said, "You're like me, but you made it." Malik grinned. "You'll make it too. Start with 1 word, then 9. Omar, true to his word, became a mentor, funding Malik's master's in linguistics at Georgetown. At the graduation, Denise sat front row, her janitor's uniform swapped for a dress she'd saved for. Omar shook her hand. "Mrs. Thompson, your son humbled me. Thank you."